Hey guys, welcome back to Maths by Gurpreet Sekhon. Good to see you all. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is Introduction to Trigonometry of 10th class from NCERT book. This chapter, according to some students, it's very complicated, but it's very easy. In today's video, we'll be getting the introduction of trigonometric functions. Okay, there are in all 6 trigonometric functions. First is sine, then there is cosine, then there is tangent, then there is cotangent, then secant, then cosecant. These are 6 trigonometric functions. We'll be having an introduction and representation of these trigonometric functions in today's video. Now, these are the full forms of these functions, but in short form, these are written as sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, and cosec. Okay, this is the short form. Now, there's one thing that must be kept in mind before proceeding with trigonometric functions, that trigonometric functions only hold on a right angled triangle. Now you know very well that what a right angle triangle is. It's the triangle with angle 90 degree. So all the trigonometric functions only holds well for a right angle triangle. Okay, so now let's talk about the representation of these trigonometric functions. This introductory video is very important, because if you do not understand the basics of trigonometric functions, that how they are represented and they are calculated, you cannot proceed with the sums. So let's move to the representation. As you can see that I have drawn a right angle triangle. Now you know very well that this is hypotenuse, this is perpendicular, and this is our base, right? So now how can we write sine in the form of the hypotenuse, perpendicular, base, the sides of a right angle triangle? Now how we represent these trigonometric functions or trigonometric ratios, that is sine. Firstly, the trigonometric function is written, and then the angle is written, that corresponding to what angle we are defining this function. In this diagram, consider we are defining it with respect to angle A. So a trigonometric function can never be written without having an angle. Okay, just keep this thing in mind. So sine A, how can we find the value of sine A from this? Before proceeding, I'm going to tell you one code that you can learn. It will be very easy for you to define these kind of ratios. Okay, that code is PBP HHB. In Hindi or Punjabi language, it's very easy to remember this code, because there is a particular saying, like these are the initials of that saying. But for you guys whose first language is English or use English only, you can simply just learn this code, that PBP HHB. That's it. Now after that, have a look at sine A. Now sine A, firstly place sine here, and then cos, and then tan. Okay, sine, cos, tan, and then place cosecant here, then secant here, then cot here. Okay, so this is a kind of code diagram that you can draw in a very rough manner to just know the values of trigonometric functions. So now let me tell you how to use this code diagram. Sine A, it is P and H. P is our perpendicular and H is our hypotenuse. Okay, so what is perpendicular? Perpendicular is the opposite side of the triangle to the considered angle. Now the considered angle is A, and the side opposite to this is BC. So BC will be our perpendicular, and what is our hypotenuse? Very clear, that is AC. So sine A is always equal to perpendicular over hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. Okay, so we have found the value of sine A. Now you can see that cosecant is opposite to sine. It means the value will be reciprocated. So cosecant A will be equal to h upon p. What is h? That is hypotenuse, that is AC. What is p? That is perpendicular, that is BC. So you can clearly see that the value of cosecant A is the reciprocal of value of sine A. From here we can derive a result that is very important, that is sine A is always equal to 1 upon cosecant A, or vice versa, that cosecant A is equals to 1 upon sine A. So yeah, in this way we are simultaneously representing trigonometric functions, we are finding their values, and also we are defining some of the relations. Now let's move ahead to next trigonometric function, that is cos. You can clearly see that cos A is equals to b upon h, that is base upon hypotenuse. Now what is our base? That is AB. What is our hypotenuse? That is AC. In this way we can find the value of cos, and please keep this thing in mind that cos is always equal to the ratio of b and h, that is base and hypotenuse. Now the trigonometric function that is directly opposite to cos is secant as per our code. So secant A will be equal to h upon b. It means it will be equal to AC upon AB, because our hypotenuse is AC and B is AB. Base is our AB. So we have found the value of secant A as well, right? Now here's the thing. As we have just derived a relation between sine and cosecant, we can again write a relation between cos and secant, and that can be cos A is always equal to 1 upon secant A. So it means cos is always the reciprocal of secant, and secant is always a reciprocal of cos. Alright, let's move to the next trigonometric function. Here it's tan A. Tan A is equals to perpendicular over base. What is perpendicular here? That is B. What is our base? That is AB. So BC upon AB will be the value of tan A. What is the trigonometric function directly opposite to tan? That is cot. So cot A is equals to B upon P, because it's the reciprocal, and B is our AB, our base is AB, and perpendicular is our BC. In this way we can write cot A is equals to base over perpendicular, which is further equal to AB upon BC. Now similarly we can derive a relation between tan and cot, that is tan A is always equal to 1 upon cot A, which means tan is always a reciprocal of cot, or cot is always a reciprocal of tan. So in this way we can just find the values of trigonometric functions if in a right angle triangle the base, perpendicular, and hypotenuse are given, and these relations are going simultaneously. You have to remember these, that sine is always reciprocal of cosecant A, cos is always a reciprocal of secant A, and tan is always a reciprocal of cot A. And it's a bit tough to remember that sine is always equal to perpendicular over hypotenuse, and cos is always equal to base over hypotenuse. That's why I have given you this kind of code, because by just writing this code you can get to know that what kind of ratio a trigonometric function is satisfying. Okay, because it's very clear from here that you have seen that I have derived all of the formulas from this code only, because sine is over to this, and cos is equal to this, tan is equal to this, and the other three ratios are the reciprocal of the simultaneous ratios, the respective other trigonometric ratios. All right, this is our very first example of first exercise of introduction to trigonometry. It's actually in direct relation with all of the concepts that we have just discussed, so that's why I'm discussing this example in this video. Here it's given that tan A is equals to 4 upon 3. We have to find the value of all other 5 trigonometric ratios. Now you can clearly see that tan A is given. It means if there is a triangle ABC, the angle under consideration is A. So we have to write all the sides with respect to angle A. Of course, this will be our hypotenuse, this will be our perpendicular, and this will be our base, undoubtedly. Now again write the code, because by writing the code you will get to know that which two sides are given, and the remaining side will be founded by using Pythagoras theorem. So firstly write the code H H and B. Okay, P B P H H B. Here it was sine, here it was cos, here it was tan, and then there was cosecant, then there was secant, then there was cot. So what is tan equal to? Tan is equals to P upon B. Can we write that tan A is equals to 4 upon 3, which is equal to P? What is P? That is BC. What is our base? That is AB. Now here is a thing that is worth understanding. You cannot just write that BC is equals to 4 centimeter or 4 meter or whatever the unit is, because here it's given in the form of a ratio. So you have to consider a common ratio firstly. So let K be the common ratio, then our perpendicular, that is BC, will be 4K, and AB, that is our base, it will be 3K. So now you have BC, you have AB. Now by applying Pythagoras theorem, here it's very vivid that why you want to find AC, because hypotenuse is used in sine, cosecant, cos and secant. Without finding hypotenuse we cannot find all other trigonometric ratios. So apply Pythagoras theorem. What is it? That is AC square is equals to AB square plus BC square. AC is to be known, and what is AB? That is 3K square plus 4K square, which will be equal to 9K square plus 16K square. So AC square will be equal to 25K square, and AC will be equal to 5K simply. Okay, so now hypotenuse is our 5K. So now you have AC, you have BC, you have AB. You can easily find all other 5 trigonometric ratios. So what are the other 5 trigonometric ratios equal to? Now here tan was given. You know that tan is the reciprocal of cot. So you can simply write cot A is equals to AB upon BC, which is simply equal to 3 upon 4. You have found the value of cot already. What is sine equal to? Sine A is equals to P upon H, that is BC upon AC. Now what is BC? That is 4K. What is AC? That is 5K. Simply it will be equal to 4 upon 5. Now cosecant is reciprocal of sine. You can simply write cosecant A is equals to 5 upon 4. We have found cot, sine, cosecant and tan as well. Now let's come to cos A. Cos A equal to base upon hypotenuse, that is AB upon AC. What is AB equal to? 3K, and AC equal to 5K. So it will be 3 upon 5. Again you know that secant is a reciprocal of cos. So it will be 5 upon 3. So we have tan A is equals to BC upon AB. Cot A is equals to AB upon BC, that is 3 upon 4, reciprocal of tan, and sine is equals to 4 upon 5, cosecant A is equals to 5 upon 4, cos A is equals to 3 upon 5, secant A is equals to 5 upon 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have found the other 5 remaining trigonometric ratios. This is how you have to use one given trigonometric ratio to find all the other 5 ratios. Alright, this concept was in direct relation with the examples, with the concepts that we have just understood, so that's why I have explained it here. If you find any problem in any of the sum, just feel free to DM me. My Instagram ID is given in the description, and don't forget to press the subscribe button before leaving my channel in order to get these kind of videos on a regular basis. Alright, thanks for watching guys. We'll do the remaining examples in the next video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. All the very best.